Good morning, mathematicians. We are going to look at some example problems that deal with what we've been practicing in class, the order of operations. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to pause this video, write these questions down on a piece of scratch paper. Thinking about PEMDAS and what we practiced in class, go ahead and try to solve these on your own. Then as soon as you have reached an answer, double check your work. After it's double checked, resume the video, and that way we can go over it together. If you have done the problem on your own and you think that you have reached that answer, then you are ready for us to talk about this together. The first thing that I want us to do is I want us to evaluate, really to compare these two equations, and let's see if we can figure out how they should be different. When I look at this equation, I see in parentheses 3 times 2. Then I see in brackets, I'm going to take 5 plus whatever that product is. Here, I notice a lot of similarities. This part of my equation is all the same. The only difference is outside of the parentheses, I also now have this 2 times. Whatever my solution is to this one on the left should be 2 times bigger. So the first thing that we should do as mathematicians is just to ask ourselves to make sense of the problem. As I make sense of this problem, I should see that when I compare the answer here, my solution to my solution here, this one should end being twice the value of what's inside. Therefore, it should be twice whatever this value is. Okay, now let's solve and see if that pattern reigns true. I'm going to come over here to this one, and let's solve this one first. As mathematicians, the first thing we do is we always go back to PEMDAS, and we ask ourselves, what steps of PEMDAS do I see? I've got my hopscotch board down here, and I'm going to go ahead and scan for what steps of PEMDAS I have. Do I have parentheses, brackets, braces, grouping symbols? Sure enough, I do. So I have this step of PEMDAS. Do I have exponents? No. Do I have multiplication or division? I do. I have multiplication. Do I have addition or subtraction? I do. I have addition. Now, again, even though addition's all the way on the bottom of PEMDAS, remember grouping symbols can make what might be less important parts of the problem, it can make them rise to the top, become the VIPs or the MVPs, the very most important parts of the problem, and they may change order because of grouping symbols. Let's look at this, and let's start first with our parentheses, because parentheses say what? They say do me first. 3 times 2 gives me 6. Since I have resolved everything inside the parenthesis, like a magician, I can make it disappear, and I do not need to rewrite it. Notice, guys, this is what I just solved. I got my 6 from this part. Everything else I simply brought down. I'm only going to solve one step at a time. Now I'm going to do 5 plus 6, which gives me 11 as my final answer. Now, remember, we said that this one should be twice the value of this because here I'm going to have 2 times whatever I find to be my solution to this part of my equation. Over here, I have all the same steps of PEMDAS, except I have an additional multiplication that is outside of grouping symbols. This is going to begin the same way. Parentheses say what? They say do me first. 3 times 2 gives me 6. I'm going to bring down my brackets, my equal sign. I'm going to bring down my 2 times, then in brackets, 5 plus. Now, I'm going to look and see all of my parentheses are resolved. I still have brackets. Brackets say what? They say do me second. 5 plus 6 gives me 11. And I'll bring down my 2 times. I've solved everything in the brackets, so I can make those disappear. But I still have this multiplication outside. 2 times 11 gives me 22. And I find 22 to be my final answer. Sure enough, when I compared these at the beginning, I found that this one should have twice the value of this one. And sure enough, they do.